Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Friday, February the 17th. It's been a little while since I've done a dashboard video. I've made a couple of enhancements. So let's get right to it. So we see here we got almost a blank chart. What I do have on here are the mid dots, and I'm showing the previous mid because fading the previous middle can be very profitable. As you can see here, here's the open. If you faded towards the middle, there was pips to be made. In fact, the open 113.21 to a high of 113.49, that's 28 pips. Here's another fade, there's a fade. Right here you see the fade. So you can see here fading towards the previous middle can be profitable, just like the pivot point fade. So let me show you that feature on the dashboard. So here we have it, the dashboard. We'll drag it over. Now, one thing I want you to notice is there's been another little change, the use separate window. Now, what this allows you to do is it'll put a separate window and all the columns will be down here, so it won't be in the screen space. But I'm going to just leave it the way we normally do it. And let's come down here. We'll just stick this in column 10. And we will do a midpoint fade. Midpoint fade. And let's just switch it over to the current. Okay? Now, you see here, I did this so you can see you have to have a bar number, because you can fade the current or you could fade the previous. And it's kind of hard to fade the current if you think about it. So we want one bar ago. Okay, and you see here how it put up this separate dashboard, but if you want it here, all you do, you can just drag it down like that. And you lose a little bit of screen space, but you have the option of having the indicator down here. So, as you can see here, we didn't have a hit. It's telling you to go long, and it's 76 pips below. So if you were, and this is to be used usually during the opening of the session, especially when you're doing daily. But if we wanted to, we could switch over to H4, and you can see here it got hit. And you can also do the daily. Right there you can see here that fade was hit. So that's it, pretty simple. The pivot fade. So let me take that off. Let me put it right back on, so you can see how what it would look like if you do a separate window. And it looks like, oh, that's so funny when it does that. What did I do wrong now? That's interesting. Oh, there it is. So you see, this is what happens. But usually what you want to do, and I think I showed this in another video, is you don't want all the pairs. You probably just want the pair you're looking at. So we can come down here again and stick it in column 1, and we were using the midpoint fade. Let's put it there at D1. Bar number. Let's do another column, column 2. Let's do an MP fade, midpoint fade. Let's do it for H4 bar number, and let's do one more, the column 2 midpoint fade, H1 bar number. One thing when you're using a separate window, you probably want to turn off the messages. You don't have to, but, and then you can drag it down here. And one other thing, you see all that space? You don't want that when you're using a separate window, or you might. That's why you get to control it. And there we have it. And since you're only doing one, the color row highlight, you don't really need to highlight it, so switch it to none. And there you go, nice and clean. So you can see here, we haven't hit it on D1, but we hit it on H4, we hit it on H1. And also, since you know this is the pair you're trading, you can just show the pair name, or you can just hide it. And it gives you more space in case you want to fill up the whole row. So that's pretty much it on the dashboard. I've been working on those, the new frequency distribution display, the price travel analyzer, and the real-time price analyzer. So that's what I've been working on. As far as the psychology, I haven't come across anything new lately, but one of the things is really, trading gets down to timing and direction. And that's pretty much it. If you can guess the right time and the right direction, you can make a lot of money. And I say guess, and I laugh, only because it's true. I mean, it's just one of the things that you're going to learn, if you haven't already learned it, is, the market doesn't care the reason why you entered a trade. It really doesn't care at all. So, that being said, of course, you want to try and follow your system, plan your trade, and trade your plan and all that. But once you enter it, that's pretty much all history. Now, basically, all you're doing is trade management, and you're doing a little risk and money management. And one other thing, you're doing some psychology or emotional management, because you really don't want to live and die every tick. It'll just make you crazy. So what you really want to do is you want to control your emotions. You want to make sure you're not rushing in, you're not rushing out. You're basically following your plan. Now, the market's not going to go according to your plan all the time. So that's why you have to adjust and adapt to what's going on. As I always like to call it, just trade what you see. I mean, if price is going down, then price is going down. You don't need an indicator to tell you that. I mean, using that Jocko trend, a 5-year-old would look at this chart and say, hey, price is going down right there. It's that simple. So just remember timing and direction. And beyond that, once you're in the trade, you're going to do your risk management, which, if your trading plan is set up properly, you already know where the stop loss is going to be, and your position size has been adjusted accordingly. So if you lose, you're going to lose a certain percentage, 0.5%, 1%, 5%, whatever your risk is. there's really not much more to it than that. One other announcement, I opened up the Pal Talk Trading Room, the 2% Club. In fact, I think right now there's we had I think 10, 12 people in there at one time. There's about 6 of us in there at the moment. It's Friday. It's 12:15 my time. Makes it 3:15 New York time. So not a lot of action, as you can see here. Price is just pretty much sitting there on the dollar yen. But yes, the 2% Club is open. I'll be opening it for the New York session, 8 a.m. New York time. And I believe Pippi, PTG, Pippi the Great, he will be in the room during the London session. And we'll probably, some of us will be in there partially during part of the Asian session. So maybe if there's somebody that likes to trade the Asian session and wants to be an admin, you can contact me, and you want to come to the room and make sure it's open during the Asian session. And the main reason we have to have an admin in there is because sometimes you get these crazy kids will come in and just make a mess, and Pal Talk doesn't like that. So you have to administer the chat room. So anyway, that's about it, fellow traders. I hope you had a profitable week, and hopefully I will see you in the chat room next week, 2% Club. And as always, fellow traders, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. TheRumpledOne signing off.